Hello everyone, welcome back to Quicks14Blog and some Star Trek Online. First take look at live game and head start. So let's just jump into it. Avatar creation, you're looking at it right here. This is very, very simple. You get to choose your class as you saw. There's science, engineer, and tactical. We'll get back to that in a minute. You can choose your species. There's many types of specific species already pre-built, part of the Star Trek lore, of course. All have their own pluses and minuses and abilities what they can do. If you're not satisfied with any of those, you can create your own based on an array of different things, as I show here. From that, you can actually choose all 4 of your traits. If you pick a pre-built trait, I believe you get 2 traits that they come with, and then you can pick another 2 or something to that effect. I like picking my own traits. I go through it and everything. I just like doing my own alien race just to make it look different. I go outside the box, whatever. So I went and did that here. Again, you have choice between engineer, tactical, and science. Each one has more of a specific role. A lot of people call it engineers tanks, tacticals DPS, and your science as your healers. In reality, it's more engineers are the front line, the science is supportive, and the tactical is the escort, damage dealers usually. So it works more like that than your standard tank, heals, and DPS that you're kind of used to from WoW. So you kind of have to think of it that way. Of course, you can mix the two. You can have tacticals that do a lot of damage and also can take a beating. It really comes down to your ship as much as your actual class and where you put your points. So there's a lot to it. Hopefully you all can explore it with me as I do it as well. So once you've picked your race, you set it up, you can go ahead and customize it any way you like. This is what Cryptic is best known for. Character customization is off the chain, whatever you want to call it. It's amazing. Okay, you've got all kinds of options here. You can go nuts. You can be specific or unspecific as you like. I took a lot of my time here, so much time that I'm actually going to cut some of this because it's just a lot, and I'm going to skip towards the end here. So we customize the head, we get the features we want, then you can customize everything else, your body, even your uniform, as you'll see here in a minute. Very, very cool stuff. It's almost a mini game in and of itself. Like I said, Cryptic's really known for this. Unfortunately, it's in most cases that's what they're only known for. I think they've done a lot better on the play side wise, putting their character customization, a lot of these customizations, not just in the characters but other stuff, and also into the game and the actual skill set, since you can pick things as you like and put skills where you want. It should make for a very interesting and dynamic gameplay. Yes, you can even customize your uniform, which is a really, really cool option. And I did go ahead and do that here, as you'll see. Excuse me. You can set up the different kind of comm badges and everything. Again, just for those who are a little new to Star Trek Online, you're first coming in here, you can play as Klingon. You don't get that as a Klingon on the Klingon side as a Klingon, but you don't get that until about rank 5, Lieutenant rank 5. You can have a Klingon Federation character, but you're going to have to purchase it from the online store or the C store using Cryptic points in order to purchase that. There's also a Ferengi option that you can buy as well. Otherwise, you'll just go ahead and pick up what's there and create your own character and go from there. But if you want to specifically play on Klingon side, and play as a Klingon on the Klingon side as non-Federation, you do have to get to Lieutenant 5 in order to open that up, and it does unlock and allows you to do that. And again, you can have a Klingon character as Federation, but you're going to have to spend some points at the C store, the Cryptic store, in order to get that open. Same with Ferengi, since they're considered rare. So once you're done with your uniform and everything, you go ahead and specify your name. This is your nickname, basically. You can also specify your ship's name. You can change the registry number if you so desire, but it's going to probably cost you some points. We'll go over that later. Then you can go ahead and put in your formal name, proper name. So I went ahead and named this to Avatar Feline. That's her nickname. Her formal name is Nico. Xandris, yeah, took that right out of WoW. Feline. So that's her full name. And you'll be seeing a lot more. You can also put in a biography. I decided not to do that right now. It goes ahead, starts the game, goes into an opening cinematic. This does have voiceover and sound. I don't have it in this because I didn't want to spoil too much. Plus there's captions, so you can pretty much read the entire thing if you're fast enough. This is, of course, all this is double speed. All vlogs will be that way usually, it's just like my WoW ones. So this is obviously a lot faster speed than normal because, again, I wanted to keep up as much fit in as much as I have time for. This is basically explaining what's going on in the original Star Trek universe. Of course, the new movie came out as in an alternate reality, so this is explaining what happened between that here and what has happened so far and why things are in the state that they are when you start. So, yeah, I had a little lag here, kind of freaked out, but it was just some lag, really annoying. So that's what this is. It's a really cool opening cinematic. I like it a lot. They didn't have this early in the open beta. They had this late in the open beta, and I didn't want to create a new character to see it because I knew I'd see it in the retail game. So I went ahead and waited. It's pretty much setting things up, where you're at, what happened, and putting you right into the game. And there's my ship. So then we go ahead and loads it up, starts up the game, you jump right into the fray, and it's an entire standard tutorial, very story-driven tutorial to explain a lot of important stuff, as well as teaching you the basics of how to play, which is really, really cool. Most of this is voiced over, so if you're better at hearing it, it's okay. It's got there. The tips usually aren't, but they are there as well. So basically, when you start out, you don't have much. You start out as a lonely ensign. You're being called by the captain to the bridge. And you just head yourself towards the turbolift. Go ahead and use it, and it will load up the bridge. Reminder: this is a very instance-heavy game. There's going to be a lot of load screens. Get used to it. If you do not like load screens at all, you may not like the way this game plays out. There's quite a few of them. They're not too bad, but it can be a nuisance. It's going to give you this opportunity to scan something. You just use the console, and you get some information. You're going to have to beam over to the Kittimer here, which is that sovereign that you can see on the screen that you saw earlier when we were doing the flyover. Oh, I went to the wrong door. Go figure. So now you're going to head to the transporter room. Go to the transporter room. Talk to her, she'll tell you what to do. This is basically getting used to actually using items in the game. Instead of sparkling, they kind of highlight usually. Transporters are pretty easy. You just get on top of them, and the little thing will pop up to use them. You go ahead and transport over to the Kittimer. You're going to talk to the emergency medical system, or the hologram. It's going to give you a simple little thing to do to scan one of these guys. This is very, very easy. As you can see, you have kind of like a quest to-do list on the right-hand side. Sorry, very similar to WoW in that nature. If you've played WoW or any other common standard MMO that's out there today, you're going to be just fine in here. If you haven't, you're going to be fine too, because this stuff is very detailed. I'm going through this tutorial pretty fast, not just in the speed up, but in this because I've already done it. I did it in beta. In beta, I took it much slower. Here, I'm just going through it because, well, I've already done it. I know what to do. I know how to play the game, and this is perfect. I've seen a lot of tutorials fall on their face and be horrible. This tutorial system is not so bad. It's going to teach you the basics and give you everything you need to know. It goes at a good pace. It doesn't try to rush too much. You're going to learn the ground stuff first, as you can see here. Get the basics of that done, and then you're going to go to the ship stuff. The ship stuff's a little more complicated, but and probably will take a little more to get used to than this ground stuff. Very important, and as it says that objects in Star Trek Online actually, if they blow up or they're on fire or something and you get near them, they're actually going to do damage to you. if you're near an explosion, it's going to do damage to you. Same thing if you're in your ship. Ship is near an explosion, it's going to do damage to the ship or its shields or whatever. So this is teaching you combat basics, targeting, firing, melee, all your options. I went ahead and skipped ahead. This is all pretty much combat. There's a lot to it. Most of it's the standard stuff: how to duck, roll, cover, things of that nature. You probably won't see me doing much of that. Yo-yoing. Yeah, it was like the first day of Head Start happens. So yeah, still a lot to come in this beta, or sorry, not beta. This video, of course. Part 2 coming up. We're going to go through the rest of this tutorial. We're also going to show you some of the starting stuff that you can do once the tutorial is done. So stick around. Part 2 is coming up right next.